Joined by Stephen Caldwell and Christian Jack once more. Liverpool are into an 8th European Cup final, their first since 2007, as they managed to get the job completed in Rome at Stadio Olimpico in front of over 60,000. But it's 7-6 overall as Liverpool are advancing. We talked a little bit after the game about what this means for Liverpool, the fact that they've won 5 European titles already in their history, but that was a different era. And Jurgen Klopp has come into this club with the mandate to try and restore past glories in the domestic game and on the continent as well. And he's taken some big strides forward, hasn't he, KJ?
Well, for me, that's the story. This is a remarkable achievement by a club that has come very far. It wasn't that long ago. I go back last year when they demanded
quality, just adding piece by piece, and some of the recruitment's been absolutely terrific as well. We can go on about the Salah.
Yeah.
Mane was a terrific recruitment as well. Question mark. Van Dijk, a lot of money, but still terrific
Great
tonight.
signing, yeah.
Signed for nights like this. So you look at things like that, the way he's went about it, and the style of the team to me is just absolutely set up for European football. The way they can break like that, they're very pragmatic in the midfield. They sort of look after the workload in there. Milner and Henderson, terrific again. Not the most creative players, but it works into a style, and they totally deserve to be in the final.
And this is a victory for the entire football club. The ownership group, principal owner John Henry, obviously people know him over here for the Red Sox, President Michael Gordon. They sold Philippe Coutinho this year for £142 million. Okay, arguably their best player. Okay, and they've gone and they've made the Champions League final comfortably. I mean, I know they had a bit of a nervous thing there. No one's talking about the fact that they got rid of Coutinho. They've evolved themselves again. They were hard. They did really well in keeping Coutinho till January, raising his value, raising the price, got him to play at a high level. Same with Van Dijk. They got it over the line just after Christmas again. They're outstanding the way that they've gone about it. And as you said, you know, I remember Klopp when he was first hired, he said, people don't judge me. I don't care what people think of me now. People will remember when I leave. That's more important. And it's so important that Klopp again has been that man to get them to a final they believe that they can obviously always believe they should be in, but one that looked massively far away from them not that long ago.
Roma managed to get the goal second half to make it interesting, albeit a little too late in the end. But when this whole thing kicked off with the group stage back in September, making it to the semi-finals would have been viewed as a huge success for this club, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's a great point. Look,
challenge for Serie A, and then obviously develop in the Champions League, Christian. But
Liverpool was saying, oh, Real Madrid will always give us chances to score. Well, Real Madrid is saying, well, Liverpool, you know what? They're always going to give us chances to score as well. So it'll be a very, very entertaining final come May 26th.
Defensive frailties have long been a theme of Liverpool, and especially behind the defence. The goalkeeping position has been questioned, of course, with Mignolet. Karius has been playing and played today. Before the first leg last week, we talked on the pre-game show about the fact that Alisson Becker was coming in with Roma, and he was being linked heavily with maybe a move in the summer to Liverpool. So Karius is standing at the other end, watching the guy who is rumoured to be maybe taking his job, and over the course of 2 legs, has Karius' stock rose here?
Yeah, absolutely. He was absolutely terrific in both ties. I think that the way his KJ has that confidence to comfort things, to you know, bail out his defenders at times was really important. And Karius is looking more and more like he's worthy and he's capable of holding that #1 spot.
This is a fascinating story developing here, because I think, personally, my view is that if Liverpool, and I think they can go on and contend for a Premier League title with Naby Keita coming in, if they were to get a Jan Oblak, for example, or an Alisson Becker, I think that would elevate them to the next level. But I'm sitting here and Jurgen Klopp is there for a reason. Jurgen Klopp is unwavering in his support of what he calls his boys, his players. Simon Mignolet, people wanted to ride out of town the moment Klopp went in there. Klopp not only gave him a chance, he gave him a new contract, then he gave him another year, and eventually gave him the platform to ultimately fail and make sure that everyone now goes, okay, he moves on. We wonder if you're a Liverpool fan thinking, oh, well, eventually Karius will win #2 next year. Maybe not, because Klopp has always been loyal right down to his principles. When he was a Mainz defender and he was getting paid £2,000 a week, he said, I needed a chance, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to give his boys chances to succeed, and he'll look at Karius as the next example and think, why can't he be great if I give him a chance? And that's why moments like tonight make sure that I think that Karius could be a #1 goalkeeper of Liverpool next year.
Now, last week when we were joined by Terry Dunfield, one of our other analysts on the show, he made the big, bold statement that Virgil van Dijk was the signing of the decade. Yeah. Which is, when you've got Mo Salah on the team, it's a big one.
He wanted to explain himself. We didn't give him the time.
He'll have his chance.
The Dump did want to explain himself, but unfortunately we didn't give him that chance. However, in his defence, Do they get here if they don't spend all those big bucks on Virgil van Dijk?
No, I don't think they do. And
you're able to go out there and perform and get a player like that, a sensational signing. And remember this, Salah, you know, was 34, Mane was 34, Firmino was 29. They're all worth about 3 times more than that. So Van Dijk for 75 already, you could make the example as well that, you know, when a great player comes on board like that for 75 million, the price tag just gets forgotten about. He's just sensational again tonight.
Signing of the decade. Maybe you got it right.
That's for you, Terry.
Let's get back to Rome. So the Liverpool fans still celebrating in the stands at Stadio Olimpico, but we'll head downstairs and hear from some of the players. Jordan Henderson potentially 90 minutes away from lifting the European Cup as the captain of Liverpool. Not bad position for him to be in. They're going to play against Real Madrid. Fairly tasty-looking final already set up here. Will the defenders bother to show up for this one, or is this going to be 7-6 in the final?
Well, the Marcelo versus Mo Salah will be pretty entertaining, I know that much.
A lot of space for both players,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's mouth-watering, and it's got so many things. We can get lots in, you know, a few weeks to go before that, but I don't know. You know, for me, it's that's the big story, is that you've got 2 firepower teams who are going to get goals, and teams that defenders like yourself and analysts will look back and just think, you know, the game's just going to be stretched and wide open, which should be entertaining because you don't get that a lot of times in the final. But I don't think these 2 teams know how to shut up shop.
No, I don't think they do at all. You've got the experience of Real Madrid. How are they going to go about it? They're going to try and stop that front 3. Obviously, they don't want to give them too many opportunities, but they don't know how to shut up shop. Like you say, they don't know how to play a compact way, so it's going to be wide open. There's going to be space in wide areas. We saw that from Real Madrid games as well. It's fascinating to me who's going to... Is one manager going to go a little bit away from their principles to try and protect it?
Right now for that. The one thing I'll say is I think the British press, and they do often, you know, control what the media read over the years, over the next few weeks. I think they'll make Liverpool favourites, and I think they'll be naive to do that. But hear me out. I've heard a lot of criticism of Real Madrid over the last 24 hours. People not necessarily watching them every week, looking at that team, Rio Ferdinand for one, saying that they're going to get destroyed by a team if they continue to defend. You know, I think it's been absolutely remarkable that they continue to find a way to be gritty, to be tough, and to find a way to do it. And, you know, that's a very special trait in sports. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to win it, but, you know, it's Tiger Woods on the last hole, isn't it? You know, yeah. It's Ayrton Senna driving in the rain. It's LeBron James with a ball in his hand in the 4th quarter. It's the greats of the greats knowing how to win, even when you're not playing at your best. And that's the one thing right now they have over Liverpool. Liverpool haven't had the chance to do that, but they have an ability to know how to win. And that's the big story. And for me, that's why they're favourites. Doesn't mean they're going to win it, but that's why they're favourites, because they've done it continuously, and they've got players like Ramos who can lead them there, and he's done it time and time again.
It will be Jurgen Klopp's 2nd European final as the Liverpool manager. A couple of years ago, of course, they lost in the Europa League final against Sevilla. He doesn't have the best record in finals. Of course, he's been in the Champions League final before with Borussia Dortmund back in 2013 when they lost against Bayern Munich.
It's not a great resume in terms of the ability to win finals. What I will say is that he wasn't really favoured to win any of them.
Yeah.
And, you know, getting to finals in sports is hard. Yeah. OK, so for Klopp to have a resume of 6 finals with teams like Dortmund and Liverpool, it's an achievement in itself. Of course, he won't want to go 1 and 6. You've got to start winning finals. But,
of course,
I mean, some of those finals were very difficult to win anyway.
Yeah, you're losing to Bayern Munich in the majority of them. You lose to Sevilla. I think it was the 3rd time they won the Europa League that time, 3rd time in a row. So, you know, you're playing against very, very good sides. So I think it's not right to say that Jurgen Klopp, you know, is not great in finals when he's playing against teams of that calibre.
To get there is an achievement.
Exactly. And lo and behold, he gets there again. He's going to be playing against Real Madrid, you know, who are going for their 3rd Champions League title. So it's unfortunate the teams he's playing against. But I love your point, KJ, about Real Madrid being favourites. Yes, they are favourites. They're favourites because of that. That captain can never take that away from the guys. It's an incredible achievement to get there. Now it's up to them to go out and try and grab that.
It defines players' careers. Steven Gerrard, a Liverpool lad, will forever be known as the man who lifted that cup. You know, the greatest cup in sports for me in this sport. The World Cup is significant, of course, but that massive European Cup, to be close to that and to captain your club. I mean, Jordan Henderson is a diverse character, even inside his own terraces at Anfield sometimes. But the guy will forever be a legend of that football club if he goes on to win that. And I think Steven Gerrard recently said that, and he knows better than anybody because he was the one who did it.
Steven Gerrard, future Rangers manager, coming up. And they're be up against Zinedine Zidane. And while we talk about Jurgen Klopp and not getting things...
We talked about yesterday, he's been allowed to do things at Real Madrid that other managers weren't because he's Zinedine Zidane. The youth movement, Asensio, Vázquez, bringing in Casemiro to play as a defensive midfielder. It has defined the era of Zidane's time. And yes, we can all say they look like they're going to get, waiting for that time where they're going to lose and run out of luck. But sometimes those don't come because you have that killer instinct. And that's what sometimes separates in sports the elite to the very good.
Yeah, and he has the ability to make a decision that's right, or that he believes is right at that time, because of the presence that he had as a player, the quality he has, the standing he has in that football club. I think that's very important. He made the decisions because he's Zinedine Zidane. Right. I can't even say it right properly there, but he made it because he's Zidane. Yeah. He's allowed to do that. He's been given that time. Lo and behold, he has the trophies to show for it, and he won't be afraid again to make another decision that's right for this final if it means tactically changing the team a little bit to combat Liverpool.
Just briefly, tomorrow we have Europa League semi-final action, and there could be another English club getting to a European final. Arsenal going to Madrid against Atletico, 1-1 from the first leg. Right in the balance there. Yeah,
right in the balance. And again, Atletico, I think, will start as big favourites. But, remember this, it's Arsene Wenger's farewell party. He'd love nothing more to go to Europa League final in France, probably against a French team in Marseille.
Yeah, it could be Marseille and Lyon for Arsene Wenger, so that's going to be an exciting one. Uphill task against Atletico Madrid, obviously, with that away goal. But I think Arsenal can go there and score a goal. I think it probably has to be the first goal to probably advance to the final.
OK, join us tomorrow for the Europa